one serene morning in ancient India, as golden sunlight filtered through the trees, disciples and seekers gathered under the Bodhi tree where Gautam Buddha was to deliver his daily discourse. Their minds were curious yet calm, accustomed to receiving pearls of wisdom in Buddha's tranquil voice. But on this day, there was something unusual. Buddha arrived not with empty hands, but with a robe. Whispers rippled through the assembly. What could this simple object signify in the hands of an enlightened being? Buddha took his seat in silence. Without a word, he began tying 3 firm knots in the rope. Each movement was deliberate, like a sculptor shaping stone. After a pause, he raised the rope for all to see and asked, "Tell me, is this the same rope that I held before I tied these knots?" There was a silence before one thoughtful disciple responded, "Master, it depends on how we look at it. In one sense, it is the same rope, the material has not changed. But in another sense, it is now different, it bears 3 knots it did not have before. Yet, at its core, its essence remains untouched. It is still a rope." Buddha's eyes gleamed with approval. "Indeed," Buddha said with a soft smile, "the form may appear altered, but the essence remains." Then, without warning, Buddha began pulling the ends of the rope in opposite directions. "If I tug at these ends with force, will the knots come undone?" Buddha asked. The disciples shook their heads. "No, Master. Pulling the rope will only tighten the knots, making them harder to unravel." "Exactly," Buddha said. "Now tell me, how can these knots be undone?" One disciple humbly answered, "We must examine them closely, understand how they were made. Only then can we patiently work to loosen and untie them." Buddha nodded, his expression serene yet profound. "This is what I long for people to understand. When they come to me, they ask how to stop their anger, how to overcome their ego, how to end suffering. But rarely do they ask, why do I feel this anger? Where did this ego take root? What is the origin of my suffering?" He held up the knotted rope again. "Just as the rope remains the same in substance despite the knots, so too does your true self remain pure beneath layers of suffering, delusion, and desire. The knots are not your true nature. They are only conditions, temporary and unessential. And just like these knots, your inner turmoil can be untied, not by force, but by understanding." This lesson echoes both Hindu and Buddhist philosophy. In Hinduism, the concept of avidya, ignorance, is central. Ignorance ties the soul into knots of suffering, binding it to the cycle of birth and death. The Atman, true self, remains unchanged, untouched, divine. In Buddhism, the root of suffering is tanha, craving, and avidya, ignorance, and liberation comes not through suppression, but through insight, vipassana, the deep seeing of truth as it is. Life, like the rope, gets tangled. Relationships break, health deteriorates, ambitions crumble. Yet the self is not broken. It is simply knotted with fears, attachments, and misperceptions. Instead of yanking at these knots in frustration, tightening them with blame, denial, or distraction, Buddha urges us to pause. Look closely. Be still. Understand. Every knot has a story, and every knot can be undone. This is a powerful reminder. Do not fight your problems blindly. Seek their root. Trace the thread of your sorrow. Ask not just, how do I get rid of pain? But, why does this pain arise? Healing begins with honest introspection. The path to peace is not escape, but understanding. Let us learn to treat our minds with the tenderness of a monk untying an old rope. Let us see that our anger, our grief, our jealousy, they are not who we are. They are knots in the fabric of our being, waiting to be gently released. No problem can be truly solved without understanding its cause. The essence of who we are remains whole, even beneath confusion and suffering. True transformation arises not through resistance, but through deep awareness. As the Buddha said, with our thoughts we make the world, and with understanding we can untie its most difficult knots. If this video inspired you, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more motivation, and share it with someone who needs a boost today. Until next time, stay motivated, stay inspired, and keep shining. See you in the next video. Shubham Bhavtu.